What's up, everybody? It is Monday, July 28th.
Yeah. Woo!
Really, let's get pumped. Let's
Hey!
get ready.
Boxes.
Woo! We're talking about Colorado's EPR deadline, which is in a couple of days. It's like 3 days from now. If you don't do it, you're going to pay. They're going to make you pay the Colorado way. So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
What is that?
Which is high up in the air, mile high.
That's right. That's right. And then we'll talk about some packaging. We'll talk about some design. We'll talk about some sustainability. We'll talk about that thing you did this weekend. What'd you do this weekend, Adam?
Oh, boy. Let me tell you. And I was like, wrecked him. Dang near killed him. Anyway, back to you, Avelio.
Best story yet.
Man.
That was like
Hilarious.
by the end, once the caffeine wears off, by the end of this show, I'm gonna be like, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Jing and Box.
And do us a favor, let us know where you're watching from. If you got any questions on EPR, Corey, you've got all the answers to EPR.
I do not.
And if you have
Extended
questions
producer
about,
responsibility. is
Colorado,
not
Adam's
easy.
got all the answers to that.
Yeah, if you want to know about the Denver Nuggets and why I own a Denver Nuggets 1980s logo tattoo that says Nug Life on my body, happy to chat.
It's like right below your belly button, right?
Yeah.
It's on my lower back.
It's your tramp stamp.
He calls it a champ stamp because they won.
Nice.
Because they won.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, it's a bumper label.
Bumperlabels.net.
Bumper lip.
I just have a QR code that goes to bumperlabels.net on my lower back. Hey,
Good
Yo.
website.
All right, guys. So saw this article this morning. You got 3 days to sign up for Circular Alliance. What is that?
Circular Action Alliance.
That's
the
what it is, perfect.
CAA. They're the the
Mhm.
producer responsibility organization that's handling so far all North American, US based EPR initiatives.
So what does that mean?
They handle the fee structure. They handle all of the data, all of the you have to communicate with them. Producers, if you're a producer of packaging, by their definitions, which are different state by state, you need to report your data to them.
yeah.
And if you go to
pay them.
circularactionalliance.org, you can kind of get all the info on some of that stuff.
And they are a nonprofit. I want to make that clear.
Corey, question. Yeah, not nonprofit. So this is I actually do get this question a lot, and you are the sustainability guy. So it's not the CIA that you have to report your data to. It's another topic.
They already got your data.
That's next week. Yeah,
is it safe to say that if you don't know, you better ask somebody?
Yes.
If you need to,
that's actually how they word it on their website.
Yeah.
But if you are unaware of, like, I'm not sure if I need to register with the CAA.
Yeah.
I don't think it takes a lot of time to register. Is this correct? And it's also free to register.
It's very fast. It's free. I don't believe there's any negative consequences to registering if you find out you're not a producer. So we are encouraging people to sign up, to just get their name in there and learn from the CAA what's required. And there's great companies out there like Lorax, EPI, even our friends at Scrap do a lot of this consulting work where they'll tell you if you are a producer. And I think that's really important for people to find out. That's always the first question. Oh, am I required to do this? And I think that's not something I'm comfortable answering. But there are great companies that do that.
On that front, I recommended a company that I met at the SpecRite Summit called Unpack, UNPAC, and they did a great job for the company I recommended them to. which
good.
all they did was just collect data in
Yep.
order to work with Lorax, to work with SpecRite. They just organized their data, and they were like, oh, that was actually one of our biggest lifts. And so anyway, check those guys out as well.
I put a poll on LinkedIn. That's a great point, Adam. I asked people, what do they need to know about EPR? And the answer was resounding. What data do we need to collect? And I think that's where SpecRite comes in and saves the day. And companies like Lorax and SpecRite and Scrap are really taking off and doing a good job.
Yeah.
Well, that's the hard part, right? So if you're a startup, if you're an existing brand, and you're delivering packaging to Colorado, to Oregon, to these states that have EPR laws, a lot of the times brands don't know what the hell they have.
Right.
Like, yes, I've got a box. Yes, I've got a bag. Yes, I've got a bottle. But when it comes to the actual materials, they don't really know that data.
I was on a call with a customer just last week, and they have a potential bill that's a 7-figure number, and they didn't even realize that they were going to be liable for this. And it's the kind of thing that can shock a company into, oh, wait, we need to act right now. So my advice is learn. I know the three of us have been talking about this for years, but now it's coming to fruition. It's happening today. It's right now. We've already paid Oregon Circular Action Alliance for these fees, and there's more coming. Like you said, in Colorado is just a few days.
So when you say we've already paid these fees, who's this we?
We as producers, including my company, Atlantic Packaging, we wrote a check to Circular Action Alliance for the packaging that ships our packaging to Oregon. So the stretch film and other things, in the slip sheets and all that material. So that's we are producers of that because we are supplying that to our customers here in the Great Northwest.
So you're not paying for the packaging inside. So let's say
company our customers, we use that.
Like rolls of labels, for example, like real packaging.
Right. Well, we don't sell stickers. No, I'm kidding. Yes. No, we do sell, provide all kinds of packaging materials.
Yes.
Yeah. For somebody that's listening, right? Like, just if they've bought packaging from you, from me, from Adam, whatever, they've bought packaging, the packaging that's being delivered to them in Oregon, Colorado, the stuff inside that they're going to use.
They're two different states.
Yeah.
They're
similar.
They're liable for the packaging that they're going to put out into the market.
Yes. They are the producer of that. Yes.
But as a manufacturer, you are liable for the packaging that's holding their packaging.
It's amazing. Yes. It's a lot to think about, a lot to know, and it becomes very confusing very fast. Yeah, exactly. And I've sat there in the room with Michelle Carvel from Lorax EPI answering dozens of questions from dozens of people that are brilliant people in this industry, and they just have no idea where to start. So it can be very scary, but the answer is just ask the right people and find out who to consult with.
Now, there are revenue thresholds on this, though.
Yes.
I believe
5 million for Oregon.
And is that to the best of your knowledge? We're not giving legal advice or financial advice, but to the best of your knowledge, is that I sell? So let's say I'm Yeti, and I'm selling Yeti into the state of Colorado, but I do $4.9 million of revenue into Colorado, even though I'm a $100 million company, or they're probably $1 billion company, no idea. But if they do under 5 million just in Colorado and under 5 million just in Oregon, are they responsible, or is it the total size of the company?
That's a great question. I think my understanding is it's the total size. The intention there is to not hurt the small guy, and not to, because this can be very taxing on a company to ask them to report these numbers. There's a lot of data to be gathered here and a lot of work to be done. But that's a great question, Adam. I've never thought of it. I've never wondered if it's by state. I've assumed it was total.
Yeah, because it like if you're just like a product company and you're selling things on Amazon, for example, and you're a $6 million company in New York and New Jersey, but you have 2 customers in Oregon.
Yeah,
it's like
it's so nominal. It's not worth doing. Right?
You're not going to pay to do all of this stuff, even though you're over the threshold as a revenue company, but you do $200 in Oregon. It's like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
But you also mentioned, Corey, someone having a 7-figure deal, a 7-figure bill coming up. If a brand's unaware of this and they get this bill, however long that's for, like, can they come back to you and be like, well, Corey, you didn't told us about this. How are
What's
brands
the statute of limitations?
out?
Yeah.
Well, how are brands finding out about this? Like, I know that there were some letters, some emails, but
yes, the Circular Action Alliance is doing a really good job trying to notify people. And the cool thing is, it's pretty obvious who's signed up and who hasn't. And they've got lists, and they're communicating via email, via phone calls, I believe, to let people know that, hey, it's time to sign up. But they're doing a lot of webinars and things like that. I think the answer is they're going to be pretty lenient on these first times, because hearing the CEO,
we're not guaranteeing anything, by the way. We're just
yeah, we're not. Yeah, this is no
not financial or legal advice, everybody.
Yeah, we cannot. From what I've heard them say, is that yes, there are long ways from 100% compliance, but they've made dramatic improvements in the amount of people that have signed up. And just like anything, people wait till the last minute. Even if they know they've got to do it, they say, oh yeah, we need to do that next week. And so people wait till the last minute, and that's what they found. They had a massive wave of people sign up right at the end. And so I think that'll be probably par for the course.
Okay. Then just getting a couple questions here. We got Aziz asking, how can we improve your packaging career? I'd say pay attention to regulations. I know whether you're on the design side or the manufacturing side, like, you got to get into some of these regulations because a lot of people don't know about them. So being aware of them is going to definitely help you in talking to new customers.
Yeah, on that front, Asif, I was talking to a gentleman who's the head of sustainability for a very large international company, and he said sustainability used to be about materials and, you know, like waste systems and marketing, and he said now it's data, financing, software. He said everything shifted in a matter of a couple of years. And he was like, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying this is what's happened. So
very different.
It's very different getting into packaging. There's still material scientists. There's still designers, obviously. There's still a lot of that. But I think a lot of the opportunities right now are in, you know, look at like data and AI and, you know, machine learning, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of things there. So
build real relationships with real people. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I like AI Corey better than real Corey.
He is better looking than me. Yeah.
And then Chris is asking, Chris has a new profile pic, I think.
Yeah,
looking good, Chris.
Love
nice.
it.
Sure.
I hope your t-shirt arrived safely.
How does EPR and CAA shape how recycling systems work in the future? So how does this change things?
Well, the intention is that the money brought in, the fees collected, will be used to create more infrastructure for recycling and for other things, composting eventually, and all those things, and reuse models, anything that will improve sustainability. And so that's the intention. The money collected will be used to add in more recycling facilities, sorting facilities, all that stuff.
Can I chime in on this as a resident of Colorado or former resident of Colorado? When we passed, I've mentioned this on the show, but when we passed legal recreational cannabis, the passing of the law was like, hey, and we're going to put a lot of money into the education system.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
That's how the law got passed. Was like, oh, great, taxes that I don't have to pay as a non-consumer that I can benefit from. Good, I guess.
Education about cannabis or education?
No, like into schools
in general. Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to raise more money to help fund schools. And what I found happened is some of it did.
Sure.
But on the whole, there's so much money that goes into building out the infrastructure.
They just forgot.
To ensure. Well, they didn't forget. But I'm saying if it's like, hey, every dollar that's spent is going to go to recycling is not true, because there's going to be governmental, like you're going to have an IRS now for EPR. You're going to have to make sure that there's compliance and regulations and all of this stuff. And then you're going to have to make sure the money is going where it's supposed to go. And then you have to. So I would guess that, I don't know, 20% of the money is going to actually go to like building out recycling centers.
I hope that's really
low number in Colorado when it came to how much money actually went to a school or how much money is going to go to a recycling center. It's way too early to tell, but just know.
Do you know where the money went?
Not as much as you think it's going to be. That's what I would say.
Where do you think the money went that they collected for taxes?
I mean, it was all pretty publicly available. A lot of it went to, government contracts that were loosely tied to.
Have you seen all the new gold in the White House?
Yeah.
That's where it went.
That's where it was.
That's where it went. Yeah,
that's where it all went to. No, I don't need to get into all of it because some of it is pretty politicized, and I know how much you like talking about politics, Corey. I just know,
not my favorite. Yeah.
I just know that the amount of money that was supposed to go to the schools that did not actually happen.
It's disappointing.
It was disappointing.
Hey, Josh.
I hope it doesn't happen with EPR, but
I think the way it's sold is this is happening. But what's never clear, what's never made clear at the front is like, here's what's happening. Here's the goal. All this money is going to this particular thing, but it doesn't tell you the infrastructure that's required in order for that to even happen. And then the amount that's going to cost, right? So from consumer's perspective, it's like, oh, or from a brand's perspective, like, oh, we're going to pay into this thing. This is what's happening.
Yeah.
But then it's not.
I think
but you can't do one without the other, unfortunately.
Right. This is part of the reason why this has taken so long. It's taken years in Oregon, well, all over the country, to develop these bills. I think the bill in Oregon is like 460 pages long, and there's so many different call outs in it. Okay, if this, then that. If that, then this. And so they've done a good job of thinking through a lot of those issues and bringing in people from the industry. I know our president of Atlantic Packaging, Wes Carter, is on the board for California's law, the SB 54, and I think that's what's needed is people from the industry, people actually that know about packaging, need to talk to these politicians and help them be successful.
If it helps, I applied for the board in Colorado and was not selected, which is fine. But I will say,
no hard feelings.
No hard feelings. But I will say the hardest part for me, like for example, so Colorado has part of their stipulation is that you cannot pass on the EPR cost to the consumer. That was like a key part of the Colorado bill. And I'm like, okay, this sounds great.
Yeah.
How is this actually going to be regulated?
Great question.
Because that would take a tremendous amount of energy and resources to regulate if they are, in fact, passing on costs and just data analysis.
Is it all a shell game? You're just
I'm not anti-EPR. I think that there's a lot of really good things that are going to come from it. Whether or not you're for it or against it, you still have to report to the states. Or I don't like paying taxes. It's not my favorite, but I still report.
Did you see? You can go online now and you can actually donate money to bring down the debt directly.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Isn't that nice?
I didn't
know. It's on top of your tax. If you had any extra money any extra change lying around, you can go on and just PayPal it to pay down the debt.
Oh my gosh.
Looking at this question here from Clayton Gons, trying to get a better understanding of EPR since he's not very well versed on it. So, like, how would it impact a company like Mondelez versus the suppliers that produce packaging for Mondelez?
So it'll be a much greater impact on the company Mondelez. I think that will be very significant.
So, what kind of packaging does Mondelez do?
So they, I've actually been to one of their facilities here in Portland. They make things like chicken and a biscuit, Oreos, those kinds of companies. So consumer goods packaging. So a lot of plastic trays, a lot of overwrap film for a horizontal film sealing machine, chipboard boxes for like Nutter Butters and things like that, and stand-up pouches, all kinds of packaging materials. So they're a great use case for this. So they'll have a fairly massive impact on their company involved with these EPR laws.
Easy 7 figures you're going to have to pay, maybe into the 8 figures. And that's, but again, like that's where the data integrity comes in.
That's just to Oregon.
Just to Oregon, and then it'll be to Colorado.
Yep. Yeah, and the caveat is it has to ship into Oregon. So even if it's produced here, like they have, this is where they make chicken and a biscuit. One of my favorite crackers.
Chicken and a biscuit,
dude. If you don't know chicken and a biscuit, I highly recommend it. You're gonna love it.
If you grill,
is it like a cookie? Is it like a chicken cream in between two?
No. It's even better. It's even better. It's a delicious
everything around me
cracker. You've heard of tiki masala, right? Like Indian food, like genuine Indian food from India. No, it's like that. No, I'm kidding.
It's the tiki masala.
It's the chicken tiki masala of Chicken 65.
Yeah.
No, they're delicious crackers. It's just a cracker. It's a flavored.
All right. So then having to pay millions of dollars to each of these different states for packaging that they're doing, do you think this would change their packaging then? Do you think that they're going to try to reduce it, or would reducing it actually cost more in packaging than the amount of money that they're paying?
I think they've been working on that for years now with these impending laws. So the reduction of plastic is a goal for most companies already, just to save costs, right? And that's interesting. Now it'll actually save them money twice by not using plastics materials as much.
Well, the issue, the calculation of Elio comes from, like, let's say you have a tray and it's an Oreo cookie tray, right? And it's a very thin plastic.
Yeah.
And you're taxed at X rate, whatever it is, 40 cents a pound. I don't know what the numbers are. And then it's like, yeah, but paper is only taxed at 8 cents per pound. It's like, great, except to make the paper food grade, we have to do all of this. And so the cost of the paper is here. The plastic goes from here to here. You still stay in the thermoform plastic because
it costs a lot of calculations to do.
Yeah, there's it just adds calculus.
That's what I'm asking. Is like, does it make? Is there enough of a benefit to shift the packaging? I don't know that there would necessarily be.
In some cases there are.
It's case by case, and that's what makes this so challenging. Is it's not an obvious decision every time.
Yeah, and this kind of goes back to Azif's question on like. No, this just kind of goes back to Azif's question on like, how do you improve like your packaging career, or even Clayton, in terms of like how it's going to impact these companies. Like, now would be the time to really be looking at how to innovate packaging that's being impacted by EPR into new materials, new, like just completely innovating and rethinking the entire pack system. Obviously, knowing everything that goes into like how to fulfill and how to distribute and the safety requirements.
Learn about reusables. Refill.
You know, being the one that's bringing these ideas to these brands, I think is going to make a huge impact on your long-term career.
I agree.
So I was going to give you a real quick example of Elio, but you were trying to transition away, but I'm not going to let you. So in Oregon, and I believe also in Colorado, the label is considered part of the primary container, and the weight of the label goes into it, right? So you put the label on whatever the container is, the vitamin bottle. If it's paper or if it's film, it doesn't matter the material. It's just whatever the overall weight is.
Okay.
And so,
did you find out if the backer is part of it too?
No, that's not part of it. The liner is just considered manufacturing waste. So if you have a paper,
you're shipping that in.
God, what a difficult challenge. So now you have to figure out the weight of just the labels.
So you have the weight of the label, right? And so if you're in a thicker, like a 3 mil film label, and you want to take that down to a 1.6 mil, you might think like, oh, that's not really something that we really care about. Well, now it's literally one of the easiest things to do because the label still runs through the machine the same way. It still is going to print the same way. Like there's really no changes in that little incremental cost for a company like Mondelez, for example, or for Procter & Gamble or Unilever. You're talking about fractional changes that amount to 6 figures worth of EPR fee reductions.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Or if you switch from a paper, which is heavier, to a thin film, that can even be more. But I'm like, but is that actually doing what you want to have happen in EPR? Do you want to be moving from paper labels to film labels? So there's still stuff to be figured out, but I know we joke about labels but like this is a real thing within EPR schemes, is like the overall weight is going to be impacted, and you can actually make a difference in lightweighting. If you're using 100 million labels in the state of Oregon, that's going to be a real number.
Okay. And I see Bob Hawkins is asking a question here. It's not showing up in the chat here, but he said, I know they're diligently working on a national standard so that you don't have to get attacked with 50 different rules from 50 different states. And I think that's the challenge, right? That's what we've kind of seen.
It would be amazing to have it standardized.
Set of rules.
Yeah.
Well, here's the problem with the federalization of it, is it's either going to be standardized or it's going to be like
Eliminated.
more. It's just eliminated, right? So it's an either or with the federalization. I mean, I guess there is a way to like compromise, but even the compromising is going to be interesting. I don't expect that that's going to happen under the current administration in the U.S. government. So,
yeah, and if you want to make things a little bit more complicated, then you can roll in Europe's EUDR, which is rolling out here in January. Basically, you've got to be able to pinpoint the plot where your trees were cut down from, how it was processed, have a full transparent supply chain and chain of custody from tree to fiber to shelf.
I think the sentiment here is that this is a situation where you need to ask for help and you reach out to somebody that's an expert. I really believe that this isn't something the three of us are, as much as we talk about it all the time, we are still far from experts. I mean, there's people that this is all they do all day long, and
correct.
That's the people you should talk to.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm just seeing Josh's question here. Do you know anything about the latest on SB 54?
It's still in review. I think it's going to be probably, I don't know how many years, at least one, before it's dialed in. So they're working on it constantly.
And the goal there is reducing plastic, right?
Truth in labeling, plastic reduction, reuse encouragement. I think they want companies to reuse packaging as much as possible, which is really exciting. But yeah, all the things that I generally support.
Yeah. Hey, maybe this week we should talk about reusable packaging with SodaStream. We have a SodaStream, and I was like, oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, rich.
What's it like to be so well-to-do?
So rich, you can make your own.
Oh, yeah. You said rich. I thought you said another word, and I was like, great. Now I have to put an explicit content on this one.
Oh, no.
I didn't realize you were so angry with me.
Yeah, I got a milk stream here. We just, you put your cup in there and the milk comes out.
I got a water stream. It's called my faucet. It's really cool. No bubbles.
What's it like to have a faucet? I just use the garden
It's
hose.
been nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice change.
So many microplastics from drinking water out of the garden hose.
Oh my gosh.
Up. Like let's let this thing sit in the hot sun and then drink with the water that comes out of it.
Yeah, you gotta just let it get cool off. Let the water run out of there, and then the cool stuff is nice.
Yep.
You got to wash off your bike with the hot water, and then this is what we did as kids, right?
It's so true. Back in the 1900s.
Yeah.
But if you saw a kid drink out of a water hose today, I think people would be like, "Oh my God, stop!"
Yeah. Don't do that.
Probably.
We all turned out above average.
Hey, great show.